Hello, everyone. My name's James. Thank you for joining me right now, wherever you're at. So, this is a live stream happening in real time right now, but it's going to get posted on YouTube, so really anyone can watch it. So, wherever you are in the world and whenever it is, I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. So, I wanted to introduce a significant effort I've been planning for a while, and I'm calling it the 40-day mission. And we'll get more in depth into it in the following kind of presentation. Really, just talking points. I know people aren't really a fan of kind of business like presentation. So I'm just really using it more for being able to help guide our conversation. But it's a 40-day mission. And why am I doing that? I went through a really difficult crossroads recently within the last year, September 2025. And when I say I hit a spiritual and medical, physical, emotional low point, it's no exaggeration when I say that and when I use those words. And it took me a bit to understand kind of why my body and my soul was going through that. But what emerged from that, it's a renewed sense of purpose. And we're going to talk about it a little bit in greater detail. But how do you think your sense of purpose is? And what does that mean, sense of purpose? Whatever gets you out of the bed in the morning and makes you motivated and excited to get up and start your day. And, it's goals, micro goals, major goals, lifetime goals. Um, I was missing that after my retirement from the military, and I hit a low point, and I really thought I was going to die. I was preparing. I felt like my body was dying, and again, no exaggeration when I'm saying that. But thank you again for joining it. So throughout my life, right, I'm 46 years old. We get bombarded with, and you could even say saturated with information, positive, but often, more often than not, what sticks in our mind, it's like a seed being planted are these negative things. And, I was been focused on a military career as an Army officer in the US. So I really didn't have a lot of bandwidth in my mind to focus on that stuff. But as soon as I retired, I kind of set a goal of, hey, a lot of people aren't going to be able to retire. So why don't you try to live up your life for them, for people that don't have that opportunity to do it? There's a couple other paths I could have chosen, but um, I felt like that was enough purpose for me to devote myself to my family and to continue being a good person and having positive interactions with other people around me. But I did not have a deep sense of purpose, and we'll talk a little bit about more in depth. But these major issues, they've been weighing on me heavily, and you know, I didn't devote the time to really do a deep research into these and find out what the truth is. So any one of these types of major issues that are impacting humanity, such as artificial general intelligence, right? AI or climate change, peak oil, right? Losing access to cheap and abundant energy, all those major types of problems, problems with demographics and overpopulation and decrease, not reproductive rates, but you know what I'm talking about. Like people are having less and less kids, and there's experts saying like that's a catastrophe waiting to happen. But I never took the time to really devote towards researching that for myself, because for each one of those topics, you hear people on opposite sides of the spectrum. Let's take change for example, right? Some people they get labeled as doomers, where they're kind of being portrayed as Chicken Little running around saying like the sky is falling and we're past a point of being able to do anything about it. So a lot of people are just kind of resigned to. Well, I can't speak for people, but certainly there's uh, a lot of experts, a lot of people among the scientific community that are raising alarm bells, and they're kind of past that point. Um, and I'm going to share like things that have impacted me about climate change whenever I start doing a deep dive and deep research into that topic. But that's just one point that I'm bringing up. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, right, you hear people talking about, hey, chill, everyone just chill. Like the earth goes through these ups and downs, right? We started as this molten rock, this molten planet, right? At the evolution of our planet, there was a period where we were just all kind of molten and then went through a deep ice age. And, so people are quick to point out, like, no, change is natural, change is going to happen regardless. And then, they try to say climate change is politicized. You guys get the point, right? There's competing opposite voices from both sides, and you don't really know who to listen to. But that's the purpose of this 40-day deep dive. I set aside 40 days of my life, right? And initially, the concept was just to go into complete isolation and seclusion. But my my budget, I'm doing this all on kind of a retired soldier's pension, and my budget didn't permit me to kind of get a hotel and just kind of devote myself completely to that. But essentially, I am secluded and isolated and focused almost exclusively on this 40-day effort. And we're going to see where it takes us. So here's kind of the roadmap of what we're going to talk about today. And today being day one, I just wanted to introduce people to it. And I know I can't tell how many people's on the live stream right now, but I didn't advertise it, right? So I don't have, my feelings aren't hurt if there's no one in live right now. But I am going to take a hard look at myself and my effort if on day 40, if we're starting these live streams and it's still just me talking to a camera, then I don't think I was effective at getting the message out. So, and again, like we mentioned before, this is live right now, real time with just a few second buffer. But it's going to get posted to YouTube and it's going to stay there. And so I know people will be able to watch this. Like, what's this dude's 40-day mission? Here's day one. Let's see what it's all about. So, right, I think we covered purpose. Guys, I really, in a previous live stream, in my very first one, it was, I think I labeled it, one second, guys. I labeled it my journey to faith, or from doubt to faith, right? And I showed a progression of how I was a committed, I would consider myself at that point in time the most committed atheist, uh, non-believer in a higher being, a creator, a divine creator. And then I had an experience there, and I kind of laid all that out in that first live stream called From Doubt to Faith. But, it being my first one, the audio was messed up. And just makes me make sure I check my audio right now. But my audio is messed up. So, yeah, I got a lot of views on there, but it wasn't good quality. So I need to redo that. And, maybe some point in this 40-day journey together, I'm going to take time to lay out the spiritual road that I went on and the spiritual experience I had, because it was very, very intense. But one of the things that came out, and that experience happened to me September 2025, kind of towards the end of the month. And man, when I say it was intense, it was extremely intense experience. But one of the things that came to me is, this phrase, do more than words, more than words. And I know right now that's I'm a talking face on your electronic device, but you'll see, right? Through my actions, I will demonstrate that we will do more than just talk about issues. We're going to talk about human values update. So this community, right? September is when I had no knowledge of YouTube or anything like that, but during that moment of spiritual and physical crisis and medical crisis, I started right, I was inspired. I'm going to use words very carefully, but I was inspired during that time. And it's like, James, you have a message, you have a voice, you have experience, you have knowledge, you have an education. Like, use all of those and share what's in your mind and what's in your heart, what's in your soul with whoever clicks on it, right? We have such incredible technology right now in this day, and it's unbelievable the technology we use. And right, I'm not going to judge people, but there's a lot of influencers, and they they use it to earn a living, and it's kudos on them. It's great if you can do that, do something that you enjoy and share your experiences with the world. But that's not what this is about for the human values journey that I'm leading. Mm, the way I see it, it's get. I have an important message to get out. I have an important purpose with this 40-day mission, and it's to get that message out, guiding principles and areas of future focus. What are the things we're looking at in this 40-day period? But first, I want to talk about my background. And again, if you look at our YouTube community, human values, there are videos that I've already produced and published that kind of go into this stuff in depth. So I'm going to kind of go through this quickly for the sake of time and redundancy, right? Like, if I cover something already, I'm going to try not to cover it in depth because those videos already exist on the cloud on YouTube. But it's important. It's important to know, hey, this guy says he has a message. Like, who is he? What's this guy all about? What's his background? And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time today kind of reintroducing myself to the newer members of our community. There it is, raised in a very small town in Texas, under 500 people population. Can you imagine? I think, no stoplight. We had a post office and a convenience store, and, very tiny town. So I was very active in sports, in the community, in church. Yeah, it's a good, wholesome place to grow up in. But I shared it again in a previous video, but, you know, this fictional character on a science fiction show, a great example of leadership. And, if you ever have time to watch some of this stuff, I hope you do, but it was a great example of leadership. And, in this show, he kept talking about this guy was a product, this officer, this leader was a product of Starfleet Academy. And, so that Starfleet Academy kind of drilled in the audience's mind. And then at some point, I started questioning, does my nation have a leadership academy like Starfleet Academy? And so I started researching it, right? This was all before the internet, if you can believe that. And then, I discovered, yeah, the US does have multiple ways of producing leaders of character to serve in the nation's military and, in other institutions as well, and the State Department, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of great leadership institutions and academies throughout not just the United States, right? That's my journey. That's where I was born. But whatever nation you're from, too, I guarantee you have national level institutions that are focused on producing leaders of character, or at least I hope that's the purpose of those institutions. But just quick, admirable leadership qualities. We know what they are. We know what they are when we see it in leaders that we aspire to, and leaders that we respect, and leaders that we admire. Same thing, negative leadership. And, you're probably seeing two faces of me. I just took a screenshot of a previous YouTube video that we talked about this more in depth. So that's why I'm going through it fast. But look at these negative leadership qualities, guys. How does it make you feel when you see a leader on media or in the public and they demonstrate these negative leadership qualities, right? Accountability, guys. Are we holding our leaders accountable? Whatever nation you're in. And that's what I said. Yeah, I started researching like it's an amazing campus, guys. I really don't know how, right? You could say it's a miracle or that I got accepted into this leadership institution, the United States Military Academy at West Point, and it was a phenomenal experience and had some terrific friends. And again, I talked about it in a previous, but there is one story I'm not for sure if I shared before, but I'm going to share with you right now. So essentially, guys, I think I did share it before, but so I happened to be in New York whenever, right, this long process of like calling this admissions officer and, hey, do you have any update? And, I was denied multiple times, guys, rejected multiple times for, just not having the slots, not having availability. And then I got medically disqualified. And it was a hard fight for me to get in, but I kept pushing. And I was in New York, and this admissions officer told me, "Hey, great news! You got accepted." And yeah, it was a great feeling. And I said, "Hey, I'm in New York. You mind if I swing by and we can meet? We've talked so many times on the phone." And so I did. We drove there, and I met him. It was a captain, an admissions officer. It was a captain in rank, and he introduced me to the chief of admissions, a full bird colonel, '06, and very high ranking. And that Colonel Smith told me, "James, like, good to meet you. Like, I want to let you know you are the very last person to be admitted into your West Point class." And yeah, it's significant for me. Yeah, but that's where, you've probably heard me or maybe not, but I don't think anyone who's part affiliated or a graduate, right, is going to mind me kind of um, rewording, right? This is the motto of that academy: duty, honor, country. And let's talk about those words and those values. But I don't think anyone who's associated with this institution, this academy, is going to mind me, uh, especially, right? Considering I'm retired officer, right? So my time in the military is done. But always, right? We're always going to be kind of have that soft spot in our heart for wherever we're from, whatever nation you're born. I didn't do anything to earn American citizenship. I didn't do anything to ensure I was born in the United States. It just happened, right? Same thing for you, whatever country you're from. But that was part of that spiritual crisis I had is once I took off that uniform for the last time that said United States Army on the chest. And, those kind of values, I wasn't focused on it, but not any longer, guys. Now I'm completely focused on it. And what I'm saying is, I don't think anyone who's affiliated with that institution is going to mind me replacing the word country with humanity and taking that more of a broader perspective because, guys, right? I don't think we're good. And I think if you're here with me right now watching this video, and I'm not talking right, I am talking about right now, humanity across the globe, 8.3 billion humans is the latest estimate. There are some people still living in extreme poverty. And I'm going to open this book. I'm reading this book right now called Factfulness. And that's kind of what he's talking about is I think he wrote it in 2017, right? So it's been a hot minute. But at the time that he wrote it, he was talking about, hey, there's this overwhelming sense of gloom and doom. And people are saying, right, looking at extreme poverty and people suffering. But he spends, I'm not completely through with this book, but the main point is based on certain metrics like infant mortality. And then he breaks up, when you're talking about poverty, he breaks it up into different levels where level one, you are struggling. It's a fight for existence every single day. And he's saying like people in that level one has decreased significantly since the first time people started measuring that, probably back in the late 1800s. Right. But talking about humanity, let me get back on here, guys. Talking about humanity, we're not just talking about people that are alive right now, right? At least I'm not. I'm looking down the road and I don't have children, guys. But for people with children, and every time I see children walking around, anytime I'm around, I look at them, especially the younger they are, the more empathetic I am. Like, when you're my age, first of all, are you going to be able to make your generation, right? If you see a 2, 3 year old, 1 year old, a newborn, your generation, are you even going to be able to make it to 46-year-old, to 40s, 50s, 60s, right? Life expectancy now is in the upper 70s, I believe, mid to upper 70s. Are you going to make it to that? It's not a foregone conclusion, guys. And that's why I'm dedicating 40 days out of my life to do a deep dive into these topics. And I have a lot of assumptions and presumptions, and based on information and media I've consumed over my lifetime, really over, let's say, over the last 5 years. And we're going to evolve. I'm going to evolve past just having assumptions and presumptions. And we're going to try to get down to the root of this stuff. But duty, honor, humanity. And again, if anyone's associated with this institute, right, I'm becoming more active with my class, and I want to get more active with association of graduates, because I'm very proud of the experience I've had as part of this institution. And there's a lot of goodness that comes for there. And in a previous video, I kind of highlighted a few notable leaders that, even if you have just a very basic level of historical background, you would recognize some of these names, some of these leaders. And right, this is my life journey, right? There's other service academies, and there's officer candidate school, and like I said, different institutions in different nations. Just look at leaders that are produced in an institution that you admire, and look at the qualities that they have. But that's kind of my background. And then I served active duty, and right, every single job in the military, it's called military occupational specialty. And it's kind of by code, but every job that exists, every MOS, it's important. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't exist. But when it came time for me to select, James, what do you want to do as an officer in the Army? I really only had one choice, guys. I didn't even really have a backup. To me, it was I want to be an infantry officer. And what does that do? You guys can look with it. It's kind of, you're the one. I don't want to use cliches like tip of the spear, that kind of stuff, but you're a combat leader, and that's what I chose to do. And this is a picture of me in Baghdad in Iraq, and I have some more videos, guys, of my experience in Iraq and the deep admiration I have, not just for the Iraqi people, but I'm talking about that experience specifically. I guarantee you, let me be careful. If you go to Iran as a tourist, right? As a tourist, I guarantee you, and I do know some great humans of Persian descent, of um, Iranian background, wonderful people everywhere, every nation. There's some absolutely incredible people. Can you name one nation that exists on our planet right now where the majority of them are um, demonstrate those negative qualities that we talked about? No, but all that to say, I have a deep admiration for the Iraqi people that I met, and they've endured some incredible hardship. And this is a picture of me in Afghanistan. Same thing. I blurred their faces out because it's a different situation, and I hate to see the updates that are coming out of Afghanistan. They're, from what I'm seeing, right, I don't think they don't have freedom of the press, and there's not a lot of Associated Press reports coming out of Afghanistan. But I worry that they're going to be a failed state. I'm not worried about the welfare of the Taliban, right? I'm worried about the Afghan people, and I met some wonderful people there. Same thing. Spent 4 years serving in Europe. Had a great chance. Uh, it's a Mississippi guy on the left, and then the guy in the darker green. I think he was Romanian. Then me, and then a very good friend from Belgium. Just phenomenal leaders, guys. But working with our NATO allies, maybe that's something. If we have enough time, we'll take a deep dive into the NATO alliance and the history of that, and the goodness that came out of that, and things that could have been done better. Right? 1991, I think, when the Soviet Union fell. Like, I think, yeah, I'd enjoy taking a deep dive on that. Like, what could have the global community have done differently to help the Russian people, the Russian government, 1991 when the Soviet Union fell? Like, what could we have done differently to help them succeed in their transition to democracy? Another picture of me in Afghanistan, and you guys are probably, if you see the picture, like, James, man, you're kind of rude with your rifle right there, but that was a force protection posture at that time because, there was some, they call it an insider threat, where some coalition members from the international community were attacked by Afghan forces. So we were kind of on a heightened state of awareness and alert. Had a chance to serve in Korea too. I really love the Korean people, and maybe during this 40-day journey or in the future, take a look a little bit more about the Korean peoples. I think that's one of the greatest tragedies in history, maybe. Right? I don't think that's an exaggeration, where an entire peoples were split at the line of demarcation, the 38th parallel. And right, no matter what nation you're on, imagine if your nation was split in half by outsiders, right, by the powerful leaders among the international community. And there was reasons for it, guys, and I'm not going to go too in depth for it, but I'm in my heart, and I am half Korean. My mother's from Korea. In my heart, that's a great tragedy that the Korean peoples are still divided. And I don't know, guys, is it ever possible there's going to be a reunification? I hope there is in my lifetime. I think there could be. It's a great picture of when I was serving with the Philippine Army, and it was during COVID time, right? So you can see our mask, but what a powerful statement, right? Like, two allies in the Pacific and allies across the entire world. And it's kind of cut off the wording in the back, but it said, I think it's securing the land, serving the people. And that's what the purpose of a military is, right? Defend the homeland. Defend the homeland and serve the people. That's why our nation spends so much money on defense. And yeah, talking about it, I'd like to do a deep dive. Like, where is our budget going? It's a picture of me and Malik. Guys, right, this isn't about me, but I'm just showing you, like, I've devoted myself towards a life of selfless service. In my heart, that's what it is, right? I can't say everyone who wears a uniform is devoted equally to a life of selfless service. There's all kinds of reasons to join a military, and not just military guys, right? That's my life journey, but first responders too, right? That word hero gets thrown around a lot, specifically for military personnel, but I think teachers are heroes. Who I really think are heroic, who needs more recognition. And if this is you, I hope you take some time to reflect. Like, man, this guy really does feel this about me. If you're a parent and you're waking up and your purpose, right, the reason you get up is to, like, be a provider and to be a parent, to raise your child in a positive way so that they become positive, good, productive human beings, right? You're heroic in my eyes. And we do have Mother's Day, Father's Day, that kind of stuff, but we got to recognize parents more, because that is along with teachers too, anyone dealing with children. And I just chuckle because I'm passionate about this topic of protecting children and nurturing children and developing children. And I don't want to go down too much into this rabbit hole, but you guys know what I'm talking about if you've watched previous videos. We need to deter people who harm children. We need to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. And if we're not doing that, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? But this is just, a couple snapshots, just a few more. A good Malaysian officer that I worked with, right? And a lot of these exercises that were, it's not like, hey, let's plan an exercise. This exercise is to plan operations to like take over the world. No, these are humanitarian assistance type exercises that we're practicing our planning procedures, and phenomenal experience, and met a lot of wonderful people around the world. And my last assignment, guys, was in Saudi Arabia that I volunteered for. And yeah, had a really great, unique experience. Met a lot of wonderful Saudis there, and Arabs, like traveling around through, they call it the GCC, the Middle East, North Africa, that part, right? A lot of great experience. So let's get to it, guys. So wanted to talk about, this is one of the best books I read, and I regret that I didn't digitize my notes, because I took very thorough notes reading this book, but I need to read it again. But you see the quote there from Stephen Covey, I believe is how you pronounce his name. The first job of a leader is to inspire trust. And, I hope there's no one out there that thinks, this guy's talking about organizational. I'm not a leader, right? Every one of us is a leader. And if you think, hey, I don't even have a job now, or I'm a student. I'm talking about you're the leader of yourself. You take those principles of leadership and you apply it to yourself. The planning, the vision, mapping out a roadmap to, right? You understand like, your 5-year vision. This is where I want to be in 5 years in terms of how you evaluate yourself as a person, and then develop a roadmap. So we are all leaders. But there's a phenomenal book called Trust. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because that's the cornerstone of the community that we're a part of right now. If you're watching this video, the human values community is trust. And like I said before, guys, I'm never going to ask you for your trust, because I don't believe in leaders like, hey, give me your trust. No, I'm going to every day try to do my best to earn your trust, and I'll say I will never break your trust. But it's a phenomenal book, guys, and it's on my reading list to reread, to take notes, and to share those notes with our community.
I made my mistakes.
Let me get back on track. I didn't hear the volume going, so that's what I was trying to make sure the volume was playing on that video. And it's okay. If it's not, we'll just talk through it.
I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is. Yes.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute. Alternative facts? Alternative facts, 4 of the 5 facts he uttered. The one thing he got right was Zeke Miller. 4 of the 5 facts he uttered were just not true. Look, alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
Yeah, I mean, these type of moments in my life stood out to me, right? I wasn't alive when Nixon was, but phenomenal up to that point where he crossed the line, an immoral line, and right? I'm real cautious of the words I use and what I'm saying, but has that line of morality shifted? Has it moved from the time of Nixon until our current time? I don't know. I mean, I have my own thoughts, and I think you know where I'm getting at. But that phrase, "I am not a crook," that's very famous for Nixon. And up until that point, like I said, if you read about him and you kind of understand where he came from and his passion for leadership, there was a lot of positives with him. But then, he kind of made some decisions that legacy was tarnished. And then this blows my mind. You guys know who this is, right? And right, this is not an attack on any individual. I'm just sharing these moments in my life, and these are like, well past. This happened in the '90s, but they stood out to me. Brilliant. This guy was a Rhodes Scholar. If you don't know what that is, it's like one of the most competitive scholarships there is. From a small town, Little Rock, I think he was from Little Rock, from Arkansas, and then applied himself in school and went to university, and then applied to being a Rhodes Scholar to that program and got accepted, and phenomenal, like brilliant. I would go so far to say this guy's a brilliant individual and very charismatic, and probably one of the more charismatic presidents that the United States had in recent memories. And he had a law background. Him and his wife have a law background. And I remember this as a kid. It said, "It depends what your definition of is." He made some choices that put him in a difficult position. And I'm not making light of anything, but the purpose of this is not to do a deep dive into that. Just he's kind of in a hearing, and they're asking him like, "Did you do this? Did they? What transpired?" And he said, "Well, it depends what your definition of is," and that still blows my mind, right? And that's a criticism of the practice of law. Is there's a famous movie I saw called I'm going to forget. It's about the Wannsee Conference conspiracy. The BBC put it together, and it's a room full of lawyers and military members too, with like law background. And one guy said, "What did you learn in the law learning? What did you learn while studying law?" And one guy raised his hand and said, "It made me distrustful of language." And I'm saying, man, like, if we have a language that you can't even trust, let's invent a new language that we can trust. And guy, if you still don't know what the definition of is, we got problems. And I don't mean to get heated about this, but it blows my mind. People use language to be distrustful and deceitful, and right, play with language. But in your heart when someone's being deceitful. And I'm focusing a lot on trust. And this was, some of you guys may not even remember this lady. I'm not even going to say her name, but this commentator, Chuck Todd. Chuck, I hope you're doing good, man. I haven't seen you in a long time, but he had this famous popular show called Meet the Press, and yeah, he's being so assertive with her and saying basically like, "Hey, whoever the spokesman is, I don't even know," like got up in front of this podium, and I guarantee if he's a spokesman for the White House, it had White House on the podium. And according to Chuck and this clip, this guy had like 5 talking points, and 4 of them were flat out lies. And she said, "Well, those aren't lies; they're alternative facts." And it blows my mind, guys. And I'm getting kind of heated about it, so I'm gonna chill a little bit. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Trust is important, and trust is a cornerstone of this community. Trust should be a cornerstone of your life. And right, don't cast stones. I'm not perfect too. But I'm telling you, going forward, I am very, very, very devoted to having trust and integrity. And I have been in my life as a cornerstone of my personal values. And I hope you are too. But you guys know that, that's one of the things that kind of led me to, one second. this lack in trust of our institutions. And, this isn't just an American story. Like I've been this is a very positive message. All the videos that Europeans and Asians and people from all across the world, South America, right? Everyone's converging on North America and Central America, Canada, the United States, Mexico to participate and watch the World Cup. And it's phenomenal, right? There's a lot of commentary before the World Cup that, hey, Americans don't even really enjoy soccer. I don't know why FIFA chose America to host World Cup games, but all that negative talk, as far as I know, right, it's kind of gone out the window because overwhelmingly it has been very positive. And I'm not gonna play it right now during this live stream. You guys can look them up, but it's really encouraging. But no matter where you guys are from, ask yourself, like, do you have trust in your institutions? And that's why I brought it up, is because there were multiple people from, I'll name their country because they named it, from South Africa, talking about the huge disparity in the sense of security, being able to walk around the streets of America, probably Mexico and Canada too. But these particular interviews were in an American city, but said they can't do that in their nation. And it made me feel for them. If you don't have a sense of security and your institutions aren't securing the population, yeah, I feel for you, and I hope there's resolution in that. Confidence in the media, guys, right? I don't see people in the media like a Chuck Todd, like holding leaders, right? We're talking political leaders, but leaders across the board accountable. I don't see it. Maybe it's happening, but I try not to become oversaturated in the news. So to be frank, I don't really spend a lot of time watching the news too. So maybe it's happening, guys. Let me know. Let me know in comments. Like, hey, so and so is kind of the Chuck Todd of our generation, and here he is grilling some politicians, or not grilling. Here he is questioning and holding politicians and leaders accountable. He or she, non-gender. Right? We talk about political leadership. I don't think that's an exaggeration, guys. Faith in political leadership has weakened. Right? That's not that strong of a statement, but yeah, I don't think that's inaccurate. Corporate leadership. This is the one I kind of debated putting on there because trust in corporate leadership has diminished. What does that even mean? If your trust in corporations to look out for the benefit of individual citizens or individual members or the global community, no, right? That's not their job. And I'm not coming into their defense, and I need to do a deeper dive on this to understand too. But my basic understanding is that, let's talk about the very tippy top of any corporation. Let's just talk Coca-Cola as an example, as a recognizable brand and corporation. The chief executive officer, the CEO of Coca-Cola, they have a fiduciary responsibility. They have a legal responsibility to make decisions that positively impact their stock price, the value of their corporation. And that's it, guys. They're not held accountable for, hey, if you need to weigh the decision between what's going to benefit your corporation and what's going to benefit humanity, you need to weigh 60% that, 40%. No, it's their job is, their responsibility is to their corporation. So, trust in corporate, I don't trust them to look out for the benefit of humanity, but I don't want to use the word trust, right? Because you're talking about profit, and it's not that admirable it's not that admirable when it comes at the expense of humanity and our environment. You guys know what I'm getting at, guys, but understand when you talk about trusting to, like, right? Unless they're under oath for a deposition or something, right? I expect that they're lying. If it's going to benefit if it's going to increase the value of their company, expect they're going to bold-faced lie to you. And I'm sure, right? I'm sure there's some wonderful people out there, and but you guys get my point. Like, let's stop looking to corporations and um, techno leaders, right? Zuckerberg, he's never going to be a leader of humanity and lead. No, he's looking out for Meta, and I don't mean to call out Zuckerberg, but same thing for you. Throw out any technocrat, any leader of technology. They're not looking out for humanity. They have an obligation to look out for their bottom line, and we're going to take a deep dive into that kind of stuff, guys. Man, I'm getting fired up about this. Trust is earned, not to, I told you guys, I'm never going to ask you for your trust, but I'm always going to earn it. Do my best to earn it every single day and to never break your trust. And that's how you do it, right? People write more than words. That's another meaning of that phrase, more than words, because so many people, they're a talking face, and you right? I've shown a couple examples already, but judge people by their actions and what they do. And sometimes people have to make difficult decisions, right? Yeah, we could look at a couple cases of that. All right, we talked enough about trust, guys. That's the foundation. And if you guys ever catch me lying, or you won't, but that's the day I'm going to delete everything or hand it over to someone else, right? It's not going to happen, is what I'm saying. And same thing for you. If you're participating in some of these community chat rooms, or there's going to be other opportunities to participate or do a call in, and could have a call in and do a live kind of one-on-one would be fascinating. That's the expectation too, is you maintain your integrity so that we have trust established between us. Enough about that, guys. I'm passionate about it, and I hope you are too, and I hope we are as a society and as a species, right? It's phenomenal, the people that study language and the different languages and Latin languages and the Romantic languages, but how language evolved. And if we get to a point right now where we're in the 21st century and we can't trust our language, let's not blame it on the language, right? It's not our language. The purpose of human value is this community. I had a life-changing experience, I'll put it like that, about a year ago in September 2025. And I'm going to go more into depth with that. And right? You're going to have to come up with your own conclusions. Like, this guy talks a lot about trust, but he's sharing something deep right now. Like, I don't know, like, it's pretty wild, but anything I tell you, right? That's truth according to me. But I came out of that life experience. One moment, guys. I went into depth talking about this in previous live stream, but I'm just gonna hit the wave top. So, right, especially when you're in the military, right? Not every job's the same. In terms of a terrific comedian, I think it's Bill Burr, an American comedian, and I apologize if it's a different comedian, but again, I'll emphasize, right? Every job in the military has a purpose, and they're all important, right? And collectively, and I'm not diminishing like anyone's sacrifice by their service in the military and in any military, but this joke was talking about specifically risks to enemy threats, enemy hazards, to enemy action, right? And so he's talking about there's a difference in terms of risk to enemy fire. The guy on the aircraft carrier that's like pointing the aircraft as it shoots off the aircraft carrier, saying like, "Hey, the enemy's that way. Good luck." Right? There's a difference between that guy or gal and that man or woman and the pilot that's going into enemy territory, right? And it's not to diminish. You guys know what I'm trying to. I'm trying to make a light moment about a joke. It was a funny joke that I believe Bill Burr made. But I chose to join one of those positions, those responsibilities that were more at risk of enemy contact and enemy action and enemy fire than some other ones. But I came out of my military experience, right? So that's my point, is that when you're serving in the military, you're immersed, right, in that culture, in that community, and in your responsibilities day to day. Um, but then when you hit retirement, right, and there's so many services available to help servicemen and women to transition from active duty or reserve or National Guard service to strictly civilian post-retirement, or when you transition out, right, when you take off the uniform. And so during that transition period, I kind of made up my mind, like I told you guys, like, we live in the most, right? It's incredible. Sometimes I think we are in heaven, right? I got to be careful what I'm saying, but if you think about what's heaven going to be like, right? All experiences on our planet are different. Like I said, there's people that are suffering incredible amounts of suffering. And, I have great empathy for that. But I'm talking about if you're envisioning the afterlife, what do you envision? To me, I don't envision, right? I've heard that. I don't think it's written in the Bible or the Quran or the Torah that gold has streets paved with gold and it's like you're walking on a cliff, right? I don't care about gold, guys. I don't want uh, I don't want my heaven to be decorated in gold because I mean, you guys know we don't have to go down the thread on that, but if that's what you want your heaven to be like, good for you. But to me, it's this. We do have breathable air, drinkable water right now. I don't know, right? I think we do. We still have a stable climate to exist in, and the trend is it's becoming less and less stable, and all that stuff, right, was kind of in my soul. And I thought, James, you have a voice, but you're like one guy. Well, what difference are you going to make? There's these organizations like the United Nations and national level governments, world powers, China, Russia, the European Union, BRIC. Gosh, I don't want to leave anyone out, but you got Japan, right? You got the world powers, like leadership at that level. They're working on these problems. So we're going to see, guys. We're going to do a deep dive on this stuff and see, who's doing what. I think some nations, they don't even believe I'm going to stop at that because you can't assume what people believe, but based on actions, right? Based on actions, there's powerful nations that are, through their actions, contributing negatively to climate change. I'll put it like that. That's my belief, and we're going to turn that belief into fact. We're going to confirm or deny that during these deep dives. Yeah, you guys know we talk a lot about leadership, talk a lot about a bit about ethics and values. But when we talk about a better future, guys, I'm not talking about tomorrow, right? I'm not talking about the 5th of July, I'm talking about how long do you want humanity, our species, to go? I want our species to go until the sun goes supernova, right? And why do I use that phrase? Because everything in our universe has an expiration date, and our sun is going to expire billions of years down the road, right? That timeline doesn't matter to us right now. But eventually, right, all life in the universe, and all life in the universe right now exists on our shared planet. All life in the entire universe will expire at a certain point based on our current scientific understanding of the universe. And I don't think I'm wrong or inaccurate in stating that. But I want the human species, I want life on planet Earth to go until as far as possible. And let's move on, guys. Hey, so this is a community that I built back in September. And, I'm laughing a little bit because it was a moment of crisis, guys. And initially, this community was called All People. And in my mind, I thought, we have such incredible technology where I could broadcast this, right? It's going out through the entire world, and right, there's restrictions in some nations and stuff like. But you know, understand my point. We're connected through the internet, and our leaders can use this technology to talk to people and to inspire people across the entire world. And I'm not sure we're using that. You know, if you look at what this technology is primarily being used for now, uh, again, no judgment on like I enjoy watching a lot of influencers and experiencing the joy they have in traveling and experiencing different food, experiencing the joy they're through them. Um, but you guys know what I'm getting at. I don't think we're maximizing our current technological abilities to the full extent possible to benefit humanity, and that's you know the way I worded it right then. That's a real good purpose and part of what human values community stands for. And this, like I said, guys, this isn't in my nature. I'm more of an introvert type of individual. But that choice between inaction is what I chose up until September 2025. Right. So many times throughout the day and in one's lifetime, think about those key moments in your life where it came down between choosing action and inaction. And, sometimes action's not always the right. You have to use your experience and your values to make the right decision that's going to benefit you on your life journey and benefit other people that you impact in your life journey. But up until that point, in terms of like addressing these major global issues, I chose inaction because to me, again, based on what I've been exposed to, it was a foregone conclusion. Right, I don't want to use the word doom, but there is a phrase called doomerism that, and there's a large community, a lot of people, a lot of fellow humans around the world that you know they read these scientific journals, and right, I'm assuming they're basing their opinions and their mental model and their thoughts about the future of our planet and humanity based on reliable scientific journals, peer reviewed publications, and not so much on influencers and stuff. But you guys know what I'm saying, and maybe people like that. I tried never to be like that kind of guy, like, hey, Chicken Little. No, I did make a decision not to bring children into this world, and I don't want to go to a deep dive into that decision right now. But to me, it came down to right. Those are the two biggest decisions I believe a person can make. Right, we are responsible for those decisions. Do we? Are we making decisions and choosing actions that will result in bringing another human life, producing another human life? Right? You know what I'm saying? Are you choosing to have a kid, make a kid or not? And I'm careful with what I'm saying because you guys know sometimes it's not a choice. Sometimes it's an accident or born out of irresponsibility or, right? But to me, the key question is, if you produce another human being, if you create, not produce, right? It's not you're not producing content, right? You're creating life with another human being of the opposite gender. Uh, if you create life, and brother, sister, I hope it is a choice. It needs to be a deliberate, very deliberate choice. That's why I'm saying the two most important decisions we make. Do we produce, sorry guys, do we create another human being to bring into our existence, and then our partner, who we choose to be a part? Very, very important decisions. But enough of that, guys. But this is the global community that, 60,000, which I don't know. I don't know there's a lot of data. I just did kind of a quick search like, hey, I posted really my first video after that spiritual crisis, right? I was posting some crazy videos during that time, but after that September timeframe, the next time I posted, I deleted it all, guys. Uh, I think we got up to like 60 subscribers then. But yeah, if you guys were part of that first, the first subscribers, I know you witnessed a really wild ride that I was on, because that was my intent. Is I knew something was going on with my body, my soul, my mind. My intent was, hey, let's share it. Like, I don't want to. I'm kind of reserved, private individual, but if there's benefit to sharing this kind of experience that I went through in September, then I'm going to do it. But I came out of it, and maybe it was a moment, a rash decision, but yeah, there was some content on there, some moments of my life that I didn't want to be public anymore, so I deleted those. But I still have some of them. I may share moments if it has a positive impact on our community here. Yeah, just to emphasize it. More than words. I'm not just talking about this stuff, guys. I lived through a spiritual, physical, medical, emotional crisis, and I came out of that, and that's what I'm saying. So I posted a first video in January. So within that time frame, I don't really care about the numbers, guys, but I do care about impact, and I will make the greatest impact as possible for as long as possible. I will run with this mission as hard as possible, and I want you to be part of it. I want you to be part of it, an active part of it. Yeah, here's just a description, guys. This is just what's in the words have meaning, and I'm very deliberate with everything that I put on here. I'm not going to read it or leave it on much longer, but this is on the description page of the YouTube community, right? Talking about integrity, talking about working together, talking about having different opinions. I want us as a community to get beyond opinions when you're talking about these major global events. I want us to use facts and scientific journals and peer-reviewed publications, etc. Because I'm not, right? My knowledge on this stuff is like a centimeter deep. It's not very deep, but my intent and my pledge is that I will do my best to ensure our community has a much more thorough understanding of these topics post this 40-day commitment. And right, I keep using this 40 days. Why do I keep using that? That period of time is significant. There's spiritual significance behind it, and I needed to define a period of time where I told people in my life, I'm going to be strictly focused on this mission for this period of time. And 1 week, one day, one weekend, 1 week, I don't think it does it justice. 1 month, maybe. But then again, 40 days has spiritual significance behind that. So that's what I'm devoted to doing as much as humanly possible. And so that's what the purpose is. It's a demonstration, a commitment of doing more than words, just more than talking. And yeah, I'm talking right now, looking into, I hope you feel like I'm looking into your eyes. That's how I feel like right now when I'm looking into the camera lens, and I'm connecting with someone one-on-one, you right now. And I want you to feel that, man, this guy's sincere. This guy's committed. This guy's genuine. I hope we have that connection established, but it's a commitment. Research, right? Not just me back in the day, right? You go to the library, and I don't know if you guys know what the Dewey Decimal System is, but it's a card catalog, and you look at the subject, or sometimes it's by author too. I don't know, guys, if they had 2 sections by author and by subject. I don't know. But right, you pull out the thing and you flip through like planet Earth. That's what I want to study, climate change. And right, I'm talking about maximizing the technology available now. So I paid for subscriptions to ChatGPT, to Claude, to Perplexity, and those are the 3 that I'm using right now. And we're going to push those to the limit. It sounds silly to say that. We'll push those to the limit of my subscription. seek the ground truth, guys. I'm tired of the talking faces on both sides of the extreme, right? And maybe someone's right. But right now, I'm not armed with enough information to determine for myself who's right. And, oftentimes things the truth lays in the middle between the extremes. So we're going to see, get to follow the evidence. Complete transparency, guys. Going to share the research process, and we'll go through it a little bit more in depth right now. I don't even know how long I've been talking. To me, it doesn't matter. I'll talk because it's 40 days, guys. If you saw my first live stream, and my second one too was about just war. I want to talk to you guys about pain. Yeah, so my first live stream was not good, high quality. I had dual audio inputs into the software that I'm using to project and to stream this live stream, and I screwed it up, guys. And it was a 5-hour live stream, and I screwed it up. And I'm gonna try to I am in the process of editing it so it's better sound quality, because there's a lot of goodness that came out of that too, and I regret that the audience is limited because the poor audio quality, and that's on me, guys. Where was I going with that? But maximizing technology to the utmost. Oh, that's why we're talking about the 2 live streams I've done. So I did the second one, right? More technical rehearsals, which I did for the first one too. But, it's Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And it went wrong that time. But the second time was better quality. But technically, it was an improvement. But in terms of delivery, guys, right, I did a lot of preparation, and I want to say I barely slept that night, right? And I'm not complaining, guys. I'm telling you about pain. So I finished this, right? My experience as an officer cadet at the United States Military Academy is we had to read a book in our philosophy class, our second year there, called Just War Theory. And it's pertinent to what's going on now. It's pertinent to what will happen in the future, and to the global community, right? Essentially, what's the justification for committing aggression against another nation state? And guys, I'm telling you, I haven't sat down and watched the entire thing, but it was a weak delivery. I'm talking with more conviction now, with more force, because when I was able to finally sleep, one second. I've been an athlete, right? No, that sounds absurd when you're talking kind of professional. I've been involved in, I've been involved in sports most of my life. I'm very committed to physical fitness, and still on very, very committed to my physical fitness journey and improving those attributes. Right? I've had Charlie horse. If you don't know what a Charlie horse is, I hope you've never experienced it. In general, they're painful, right? It's like a cramp. Your calf muscle cramps up, and it's extremely painful. And sometimes that happens whenever you're sleeping and you're awoken in a very unpleasant manner. I've had those guys. I've been through intense military training. Kind of on the end of teetering on dehydration, and focus on replenishing electrolytes and all that kind of stuff, guys. But after I completed that Just War Theory live stream, I was awoken in the most excruciating pain in my mind, guys. Right? Again, I've had experiences that I could compare this to. It was so far beyond any type of muscle cramp I ever experienced, to where in my mind I was envisioning my calf muscle ripping off of the bone. That's how intense this pain was. And right, sometimes you have a cramp and it goes away in about 5 seconds or 10 seconds. This lasted, no exaggeration, yeah, at least 10 or 15 seconds. Right, I told you guys I'm never going to embellish or exaggerate anything I'm telling you. So everything I'm saying is as accurate, as truthful as, uh, as it happened. But about 15 seconds of that. And anyways, that's a long story to say that I took that as a sign that, James, yeah, you took a step forward and you're using your voice, but you will use a voice of conviction going forward, and no more a timid voice from you. So, but I'm not sure what bullet prompted me to say that, but kind of talking about the past videos we made. And then, yeah, I always hold myself accountable. Yeah, hold me accountable, guys. So foundation milestone, these are what the milestones that we've reached since January. Yeah, it's a show and commitment. Go on our YouTube page, or we can bring it up real quick. Right, but these are the videos I produced, and a lot of these were recorded during that spiritual crisis that I had, and then I just kind of edited it, and then just making some shorts. This is this John Nash one. I hope you guys go watch this one. It's one of the ones I'm more proud about because it's talking about right. We all have that. We're self-interested, right? Like if we have to choose between our own life and other people, not many people are going to choose. I'm going to sacrifice my life. So right, maybe in certain situations for certain people in your life, but in general for a stranger. But we're self-interested creatures. And this video, I talk about John Nash in that movie, A Beautiful Mind, and how he says, yeah, that's fine to be self-interested, but actually, if you are self-interested, every individual who belongs part of a group will benefit greater if they put the benefit of the group above their own in certain times. You guys understand what I'm saying? So, but doing more than words. That's what I'm trying to do, guys. And I never thought I would do this kind of stuff, but here we are. Yeah, we hit most of these already. I'm going to kind of go through these kind of fast, guys. But building a community, and it's not just YouTube. It's not any single platform in particular, guys. I'm just trying to build a community of concerned humans, of people of similar values, of shared values who share the same concerns as I do. Yeah, this is the website. I'm not a web designer, guys, but I'm doing my best, right? That's all we can do is do our best. Let me get this talking face out of the way. But here's our website. We're just going to walk through it. It's a live website. It's just humanvalueslife.com. I would have chosen humanvalues.com, but someone owns that URL, and it's more money than I've got. I'll put it like that. I think it's over 10,000 US dollars that they want to sell that for. So human values life. And I like that phrase actually, because you could take it as three separate, right? Human values and life, or human values life. There's multiple ways you can take it. So I like it. I like it. Human values life. And I messed up because I didn't change my bookmark yet, guys. Excuse me. So we're a .org organization, so not .com, like .org. Yeah, that's on me, guys. That just kind of jogged, I need to put some kind of notice on the .com website. And like, if you're here at the .com, like, no, redirect to the .org. And the difference is, guys, We applied for and we were approved to be a nonprofit organization. And more about that in the future. But I'm going to scroll through this. I don't believe, guys. Belief has nothing to do with it. I'm going to make a statement. We are at a critical point in the history of our species. And right, I'm not going to go into a historical lesson. Like, what are those moments? The invention of the printing press, invention of the internet, right? Those kind of milestones. But we are at perhaps the most critical point in our species, the story of our species and our planet. Anyway, let's go through this fast, guys. I just want to show you kind of the website. But I need a lot of work to do on it. I have a broad vision of how I want this website to develop, and I just have to devote the time and effort to learning how to do it and doing it. Yeah, you guys see, these are the types of things that really bother me. Climate change. How many people are saying, like, within 40 years, our planet's going to be essentially uninhabitable? People talking about, like, India may sustain, not just India, but I know India's Mumbai specifically as a, what do they call that? As a mega city, because sustain like a wet bulb event that'd be so catastrophic that millions of people could be killed across the world. But specifically, India has those conditions of heat mixed with humidity that become lethal to humans without the aid of air conditioning. Right? These are the issues, and if you're here right now, I think you're concerned about these types of issues and the scale of these types of issues, and that's what I'm going to devote 40 days of my life to doing, and I think that's it. Yeah, we're all part of the global community. We have to start thinking like that, guys. And I understand, right? If you're a first responder, it's tribalism. We kind of we focus on what we can do at the most immediate level, but we have to broaden out to start thinking about our planet. And a lot of people and organizations that already have, guys, right? This isn't the first person. I know I'm not the first person to kind of feel this way, but for my own sanity, that's why I'm leading this effort. All right, almost done. I wanted to kind of share. This is what I'm talking about. I need to post these on the website tonight or later today, or it's priority for me to do that. But these are the living documents for this Global Solutions 40-day mission is what I'm calling it. But we're going to go through them real quick, and I have them already opened on the tab. But right, the overall concept. I was watching again, kind of footage, very encouraging. I love seeing people kind of united and enjoying themselves and passionate about something. But for football or soccer, billions of people right now are united, paying attention to the World Cup. Yeah, let's try to unite more people to some of these global issues. I'm not going to go through all this, guys, but these are some resources, and I haven't purchased all these books yet, but I am going to start trying to research more. Again, that's what the purpose of this 40 days is. Yeah, paid subscription. So I paid for Nature magazine, not magazine, guys. It's not a magazine for like entertainment with like, uh, like Chanel advertisements in the. It's a journal, a scientific journal. So paid for that, so I can kind of go through the archives and start looking at what's available, resources available there. Consensus Pro, I think I'll subscribe to that, and possible JSTOR as well. But I'm doing more than words, guys. I'm using my own right, using my own limited funding to fund this effort. Here's the 12-step analysis framework, and when we're looking at these different issues, right, we're not just we need a defined process that we're going to look at these through, and this is what I'm using as, right? My military background, so a lot of it comes from, military type systems, but also beyond that, utilizing AI, like doing research. What does the State Department use? What do different nations use? But I tried to kind of put together a composite analysis process. And I'm not going to go through each one, but right, you see it's a very deliberate process. And that's what I'm intending to use as we look at some of these global issues. And then principles, I think we hammered those home, guys. Like integrity above everything. Follow the evidence wherever it leads us, guys. What I want, what we all want to happen is if there's someone else that's doing this out there, let me know. I know like there's kind of people that have done stuff like that, but I don't know about like a focused effort like this, but holistically what I want is to come out of this 40-day mission with a very optimistic view of like, hey, we can join efforts, we can combine efforts, we can address these issues that are potentially catastrophic for our species and our planet. And I want to be hopeful coming out of this 40 days that we can get it done. Right? And I'm sure you do too, because I don't think the opposite is going to be very helpful. And we're going to follow the evidence wherever it takes us. Yeah, long-term thinking, guys. People with children, you kind of thinking about them, maybe thinking about ground. No, I'm thinking about hundreds of years down the road. But of course, I am also thinking about current and immediate generations of humans. This is it, guys. This is the mission statement for the 40 days. We're going to devote ourselves to studying, and that's how I'm running it. Let me bring back up our YouTube page. Like two live streams, at minimum, two live streams a day. Right? So that's good. Like 2 people watching right now. Probably. Yeah. Like I told you guys, I didn't advertise it. I didn't push it. I am going to, though. I wanted to make sure that we could get things established first. But 25 views for the first one. But the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm doing at least two live streams. One is a preparation research. I want how I'm researching, what I'm researching, what the results of the research are, to be transparent. And then I'm going to package it up, and then I'm going to do what we're doing right now as a more formal version. And I'm planning to stick with these times, essentially close to divided by, separated by 12 hours in a day. So an earlier iteration, we're doing the research and preparation, and then do a more formal live stream where we share what the results for the day are. And I don't want to use military terms like debrief, but essentially that's what it is, guys. And I think we're good. I appreciate, let me look at the, yeah, I appreciate these 2 people watching right now. But like I said, no emotion from me at all for that right now. And in fact, that's essentially what I expected because, like I told you, I don't even know how you would get notified. I guess one of these, we have 60,000 subscribers to the channel. So if you're in the right part of the world and you're looking at your phone right now or your electronic device, maybe you'll see, hey, Human Values channel is live right now. But my intent is, let's see, guys, 40 days from now, let's see how many people are participating. I'm asking for your participation. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. But I really appreciate the two people that are here that stayed with me. And the point is, like, this live stream day one prep was conducted live earlier and posted. This video is gonna. I'm not gonna say it's gonna stay on there forever, but I have every intention of leaving this video on there for the foreseeable future, right? Because even our digital footprint, it has an environmental cost, and I'm conscious about that. And we're going to talk about that during this deep dive too, like the impact of YouTube and Alphabet, I think is the parent company, Google, right? Like all these data centers that are being built to store digital content. I'm very conscious about that, guys. And yeah, some stuff I'm going to, at some point delete this stuff. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, I messed up, guys. I should have, there's some fundamentals that came out of my spiritual crisis back in September. But one of the things that comes to mind right now is, like, don't live in fear. We can't live in fear, guys. There's things that are in our control and things that are not in our control. But what we can control, what we can control is how we're addressing these issues and what we're doing about it. And don't live in fear. Let's do the best that we can, do more than words, and duty, honor, humanity. Thank you very much, guys. And I'll see you in a few hours for the day 2 preparatory session.